Failure isn't fatal when supersizing and growing your business. As a matter of fact, it is absolutely inevitable and essential to growing and building and supersizing your business. Horne-Ellstrom here. We're talking about the fail paradox in today's topic for this year's annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge, to do one thing every day that improves us in some way. And a lot of that has to do with the better we are as a human being, the better person we become, the better able we are to create the business that we want and the life that we want in this lifetime. So today's paradox basically says the more you're afraid to fail, the more likely you are to fail. And to go inside with that, I selected the idiom, success is not final, failure isn't fatal. And this is attributed to Winston Churchill, but there's some debate on and as to whether he is the first one to have said it or not. There's a lot of versions of definitions of success and failure out in the world, and fear of failure. There's lots of famous failures. We've talked about ways to overcome failure, ways to overcome fear of failure in the past. We're not going to talk about that again today, but we can think about, I learned a couple of cool things yesterday. There's a lot of famous failures, and my trick has always been to ask someone who's achieved what it is that I want to achieve, who's done what I want to do. Number one, is this the first time you've had this success? And if it is, what was their journey? What's their story? How many attempts did they make before they actually reached their definition of success, what they consider a business success? And a lot of times you'll meet business people that you would say, oh my God, they've got it all. They're totally successful. And when you talk to them, you find out that they're just on their journey. They're not anywhere near at what they define as success, and where they want to go with their business or their different areas of their life is very different than where they are right now. But that reminds us that each of us have the ability and the responsibility to define what is success for us, what is failure for us. I'm, as a person that's had millions and millions of failures, little ones and big ones, I had to learn how to redefine failure, because what I found is that when I felt like I had failed and that I had just really screwed something up or made a huge bumble and that it was the end of the world, that froze me in my tracks, and I didn't do what all of us need to do when we're faced with attempting something and it doesn't work out, or attempting something that we thought for sure would work and it didn't. We have to get over the disappointment and focus on what did we learn from that, because failure is just a stepping stone toward what we want. Every person that you have ever met that has succeeded at anything didn't do it the first time that they attempted to or tried to do it. Failure is just the stepping stone. It's the journey to success. Therefore, just like death and taxes in the United States, it's inevitable. We are going to all die. We are going to all fail. To think that we're not going to make mistakes, we're not going to fail, is so ridiculous. It's like thinking we can control the weather. Again, I, a long time ago, learned that if I just observed what the weather was going to be today and then made my plans, versus made my plans and then getting all frustrated over because it was raining out and I wanted to go on a picnic, if I reversed that, I didn't have a lot of stress and worry and doubt and frustration that I had before. So I actually love this topic. I think it's one of the most important topics, and it's easy if we take personal responsibility to decide what failure and what success mean to us. The whole purpose of talking about idioms and talking about paradoxes is to remind us that we have the power to decide what everything means. Maybe not what it means to the rest of the world, but what it means to us. And success and failure, and defining those, are probably one of the foundational things that we can do in order to create the outcomes that we want. I learned a long time ago from Tony Robbins, and I think it's an NLP strategy, that we have to define success so that we can experience it often, and we have to define failure in a way that it's almost impossible for us to experience. It is almost impossible for me to absolutely positively fail, unless of course I'm probably dead, and then I don't care anyway, because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be creating my business if I'm dead. So the trick that NLP teaches us is that when we're defining success, we define it in all the little ways, and we say or this instead of and. most of us, when we think about how we define success, we have this laundry list of things, kind of like our bucket list, that all of those things have to be achieved already before we'll say we're successful. And if you've ever had any modicum of success or achieved a goal, you know, as soon as you achieve it, and actually even before you achieve it, as you start to get close and for sure you're going to achieve that goal, all of a sudden it doesn't drive us and motivate us anymore. It actually can be demotivating unless we've decided what's the next step and what's the next goal we're going to be working toward. Then when we get it, we celebrate a little, but we don't celebrate a long time. It's like when you buy something, a shiny new object, a piece of jewelry or a vehicle or whatever important to you, or a new house. It's fun for a while and it's exciting and you got it, but pretty soon it just becomes natural and you get comfortable and it's not exciting anymore and you need to find something else that drives you. And for failure, we have to make it impossible for us to actually fail, as in it's the end of the line, nothing else is possible. A lot of people define failure, and as soon as we experience failure, we say, oh my God, that was so terrible, I don't ever want to feel that again. Well, guess what? If we decide we never want to feel any type of failure or disappointment again, that's going to freeze us and we're not going to take action. And the one antidote I found to fear of anything, and I used to be afraid of a lot of stuff and I'm still afraid of some things, is to take action toward that. Fear of death, I don't recommend this one, but I actually had a death experience, so I'm not afraid of death at all. I know it's going to happen, it's inevitable, so why would I spend any time and energy worrying about it? Fear of public speaking, guess what? Talk, go online, talk on social media, have conversations with people, and before you know it, you won't be afraid of public speaking. Fear of snakes, I can't help you with that one because I'm still afraid of snakes. I'm not phobic afraid of them, but I just don't want to be around them, so I don't. And then I take action to not be around snakes, which helps to deal with and overcome my fear of snakes or heights or whatever you might be afraid of. And we do that by defining failure in such a way that we can't experience it. How do we do that? By using the connector and. So, or to experience more success and to make it impossible to experience failure. And we just link all the things that could possibly happen or all the things that have to happen that are actually impossible with the or connector, and that's how we define failure for ourselves. And again, I did that probably, I don't know, 15 years ago, again, as part of NLP and learning it from Tony Robbins, and it served me really, really well. That's why I like to share it. But it takes more than a quick video to share, probably a half an hour or so working through different examples. All right, that's it for today. Love to know your experience with this, your thoughts about fear of failure and failure being final, or do you believe it's inevitable like I do, that hey, if I want to achieve anything, I'm gonna have to mess up a lot of times along the way before I achieve it. It's just part of the journey, part of the process. And a lot of it is because I need to grow and develop and become the person that can handle the thing that it is that I want. Once we understand that, it makes learning and attempting things that don't work out exactly as we planned actually kind of fun and exciting. All right, have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow with another paradox-related idiom. I haven't looked up what our paradox is for tomorrow yet, but it'll be something interesting, and we'll twist it to help us grow and build and supersize our business. Have an awesome day. See you tomorrow.